Welcome to the Mississippi Coliseum here in the capital city of Jackson for state high school tournament basketball. This is the Class 1A boys semifinal matchup between the Biggersville Lions out of the north and the Durant Tigers out of the south. I am Travis Raychek, joined today by Randy Bolden, head boys basketball coach for Meridian High School, and we have a good matchup on hand for you today. The 27-7 Lions versus the 25-6 Tigers out of Durant. As we take a look at the starting lineups for both teams here in this 1A boys semifinal matchup, Durant will go with Keith Reynolds, Dwayne Lewis, Theodore Haynes, big man in the middle, Gamarcus Thomas, as well as the senior David Hogsett. And the Tigers bring a lot of history of playing in this arena. Been to the Big House a couple times in a row and actually won it all in Class 1A last year. Biggersville, the number 1 seed coming out of the north side of the bracket, led by head coach Cliff Little. And Biggersville will send Tevin Watson into the starting lineup along with Darian Williams. Blake Anderson, the big man in the middle to look out for, is Dexter Stafford, and he is joined by Martonius Watson. So we are about to get set here, but before we do, Randy, it's a 1A matchup, Durant, Biggersville. It's the Tigers going for a back-to-back title. How do you see this one?
Well, Durant definitely comes in with a lot of experience, being that they're defending 1A state champions from last year. So it's going to be a quite exciting matchup here, and I know Biggersville is really excited. They have a good team, and they're very athletic. So put your seatbelt on and get ready for a good one.
This the second day of the state tournament here, the first 1A boys game. It's Durant versus Biggersville. Tip-off is coming right after the break here on the MHSAA network. We are getting set here for the Class 1A boys semifinal matchup at the Mississippi Coliseum versus the Durant Tigers and the Biggersville Lions. This pairs a team from Biggersville coming in at 27-7, led by head coach Cliff Little. On the other side, it is the Durant Tigers, 25-6 on the year, led by their man on the bench, Kenyon Ross, the number 2 seed out of the south. And as we get set here, Durant, the defending Class 1A champs, will be in the all-green uniforms with the white numbering and the white stripes down the side. Meanwhile, Biggersville comes out of the north. They will be in the all-white uniforms. The Lions will have the maroon trim and the maroon numbers. Winner of this game will take on the winner of the Coldwater West Lincoln 1A boys semifinal, which will be played later today. That state championship game coming up on Friday at 2:30. And as we get set here, Randy, 1A always provides some different matchups because much smaller schools, a more limited roster to work with for these coaches.
Right, and most of them, when you're dealing with 1A, most of those guys are shared athletes. They play multiple sports, and therefore they don't get a whole lot of time in the gym. But they seem to work it out, and they're really playing well late here in the March.
Biggersville will control the tip. They're coming from left to right on your screen. Durant coming out in the zone quickly to go inside to Stafford. His shot is no good, but the follow by Blake Anderson, and the Lions get on the board first. Durant will push the other way. They go with a shot in the corner right off the bat from Hogsett. No good. Rebound, no good either. And so here comes Watson, Tevin Watson that is. There's a couple of them on the roster for the Lions, and he will leave it for Darian Williams. Now Williams over to Martavius Watson, and then back up top to Tevin. Martavius looking inside, can't find Stafford. Leave it on the wing for Williams. Williams drives through, and he gets knocked down in the lane, draws the contact and the foul.
Well, it looks like Durant is coming out in a zone, trying to slow things down and feel things out early on here.
Blake Anderson will trigger the inbounds pass. He gets it up to the top of the key. Tevin Watson there over to Williams. Back over to Anderson. Anderson kicks it the left wing and then back around to Tevin Watson. He knocks down the 3 ball, and quickly Biggersville grabs the 5-0 lead.
Well, speaking to Coach Ross early, he said his guys are going to kind of push the tempo and make this a fast-paced game here. And he said that's the only way he feel like his team will have an opportunity to win today.
3-point attempt, no good. The rebound corralled by Dwayne Lewis. He can't make it, so Biggersville pushes the other way. Again, the inside look to Stafford. Stafford goes to work hard inside, draws the foul. He will go to the line, and Randy Dexter Stafford is a man down there in the paint for the Lions, coming in averaging 18 a game plus almost 8 boards.
Well, yeah, he's a good-looking kid. I see Durant is trying to trap him. They double team him every time he catches the basketball. He really has a lot of talent there, and I think he's gonna be something to reckon with here.
So once again, the foul was on the floor, so the inbounds play goes to Tevin Watson. He'll fire it up again. That one goes in and out, but Stafford working hard on the boards, comes down with it, can't get it to go on the putback. Durant and Keith Reynolds clear. And they do. They bring it up quickly, back up top. Reynolds will set up shop there. Reynolds over to David Hogsett. Hogsett waits for Theodore Haynes up top, and then Haynes over to Thomas.
Durant is running a five-out motion game, trying to get some penetration, easy baskets at the rim there.
That shot taken by Lewis. Doesn't get it to go, draws the foul, but he comes up a little bit. Looks like he injured his knee as he came down on that shot. Lewis hobbles over to the line. He's going to try and take the free throws, and the first one is up and good. First point of the game for the Tigers.
He waved them off. They subbed for him for the shooter. He kind of looked at Coach Ross and said, "Hey, I'm staying in. This is a big one." So
he's barely holding up, putting all the pressure on his left leg as he shoots. That one comes up short, and he's definitely hurting as he moves down the floor. Coach Ross is calling for an injury timeout, and he will get that. And Durant's going to have to sub out Dwayne Lewis and bring to the floor Cedric Common in his place. So something early to keep an eye on to see how serious that injury is for Lewis as he goes to the bench to get looked at.
Yeah, it looks from here like he turned his ankle. It looked like the trainer's over there looking at his ankle. So hopefully he'll be able to tape it up and get back in.
So Biggersville with the 5-1 lead, just over 2 minutes in to this 1A boys semifinal game. Now out on top to Martavius Watson. Over to Anderson. Anderson works the baseline, his pass high, but corralled by Tevin. And they're still looking inside. Strickland working hard down there. Stafford working hard down there.
Durant is doing a pretty good job of moving on the ball in that 2-3 zone.
Lions working it around the perimeter. Stafford gets free for a baseline jumper. It's no good, but on the rebound attempt, looks like an over-the-back call on Cedric Common. Third team foul on the Tigers. They work it around. Shot from the outside taken that time by Williams. Can't hit. Gets his own rebound. Then inside to Watson. Watson can't score at point-blank range. Keith Reynolds comes away with it.
Durant looking to push here.
Reynolds will now reset at the top. Kicks it to the left side in Haynes. Now Hogsett down low to Haynes. Haynes the turnaround, and his jumper goes. First field goal of the afternoon for the Tigers.
I think both teams wants to push the tempo here early on.
And quickly inside, Dexter Stafford scores, draws the foul. Chance for a three-point play. Randy, what's interesting when I look up and down the roster for Biggersville and the starters they send out there, all seniors. Very rarely on any team in the state, let alone a 1A team, are you going to see a five-man lineup with all seniors.
Yeah, and when you see all seniors on the team, that tells you right there they played together probably since 7th, 8th grade, and that chemistry is there as well as their experience. So they from their body language, they're ready to play, and they're coming out here with a lot of energy here early.
Lions are up 8-3 halfway through the first quarter. Durant runs into trouble there. Darian Williams almost comes away with the steal, but knocks it out of bounds. Reynolds will now throw in from the side. Gets it into Hogsett and quickly hands it right back to Reynolds. Good pressure defense by Darian Williams up top on Reynolds.
Yeah, Biggersville is doing a really good job of pressuring the basketball. They're in help side.
That long shot by Reynolds, no good. Chase down. Durant can't come up with it. Gamarcus Thomas made a go at it, but knocks it out of bounds, so Biggersville will come back the other way. Up 5 early on in this 1A boys semifinal game.
It looks like Coach Little is making a conscious effort to make sure Stafford catches that basketball every possession down. They're looking to get it to him every time down the floor here.
He gets it that time, makes a tough jumper again. 3 quick baskets for Dexter Stafford. And as Hogsett makes his move, he takes an extra step, traveling call, turns it over, and the Lions back with possession, and Coach Ross needs to get a timeout, needs to get those guys settled down on the Durant side.
Yeah, I think Coach Ross just trying to gather their composure, get them to settle down. I think the juices are flowing a little bit here, so he's just trying to get them to understand, let's stick to our game plan and try to find a way to stop Stafford under there.
And Randy, we got a chance to do the Williams-Sullivan SV Marshall game yesterday, and we saw the level of basketball they're putting out in Holmes County, and Durant's another one of those teams from that area. They play pretty good ball.
Yeah, they're another team that's down in Holmes County that has a lot of athletes down there, and the coaches are doing a very good job of developing these young men, and that's one reason they're here today.
A quick look early on.
Looks like Durant is
struggling from the field.
They've switched to a 1-3-1 here, trying to keep Stafford off that block.
On the inbounds pass, Williams drives into the lane, dumps it off to Stafford. Stafford finds space, and again, another bucket at the rim, and Dexter Stafford is off to a huge start. He already has 7 points. Keith Reynolds will take the deep outside shot. That one is good. Reynolds cuts the lead in half.
Yeah, Coach Ross alluded to that. They shoot a lot of three-pointers, and they live and die by trying to get that ball up the floor and getting easy transition shots there. So that was an example of one of those three-point baskets.
Lions working around the perimeter. Over to Tevin Watson, then Watson to Williams. Williams will look to penetrate, but has the ball tied up as he goes down to the floor. Possession arrow belongs to Durant. So 12-6, Biggersville leads Durant with just over 2 minutes to go in the first quarter of this 1A boys semifinal game.
Biggersville pressure out top is really giving Durant problems right now. Forcing turnover, that's the second travel call they've gotten in this quarter alone.
Reynolds took the extra step as he was getting ready to make his move, so back come the Lions the other way. Darian Williams bringing the ball up the court, slowing things down a little bit as the Lions get into their offense. Cross court to Anderson. Anderson will drive into lane, has it knocked out temporarily, but regains possession. Then up top to Tevin Watson. Watson along the baseline. He gets the floater to go 14-6. The lead extended now to 8 for Biggersville.
Biggersville is extending their defense here, picking up man, just applying pressure, and it's disrupting Durant's offense here early on.
Reynolds in the quarter. That 3 attempt from Contario Gilmore is no good. Fight for the loose ball. Ends up with the Lions. So right now the momentum definitely on the side of Biggersville, as well as the crowd. They're a lot more vocal at this point in the game. Their team up 8 here in the first quarter. Work it around the perimeter. Martavius Watson now to Anderson. Anderson will fire it up from deep. His shot won't go, but the long rebound to Williams. That time, though, a travel inside turnover will give it back to the Tigers.
Durant is making a conscious effort to try to deny Stafford that ball on the block there, because when he catches it, pretty much it's going to be either a foul or a basket.
Haynes works the ball inside to Lewis, and Lewis draws contact, and we see Dwayne Lewis back in the game. He had to check out a little bit earlier when he came down gimpy after taking a shot, but Lewis has checked back in, looks to be okay. Good look off the inbound. Lewis catches that one, draws the contact, and he'll go to the line for a pair.
Foul Biggersville, number 20, T. Watson, second personal, team third. Shooting at the line, number 20, Dwayne Lewis.
First one up and good for Lewis, 14-7. Is the new score. Lewis has one more at the line as we're in the final minute here of this first quarter.
Coach Little is digging deep in that bench here early on in the first quarter. With that adrenaline flowing, you tend to get tired early on. And I think he's doing a good job of getting them in and out and keeping them fresh here.
Second one up and off the front iron, but fight for the rebound. Durant controls. And they'll kick it back up top to Lewis and reset. That one knocked out of bounds and off of Gilmore, so Biggersville creates the turnover. Final 30 seconds here of the first quarter. They get it inside to Stafford. Stafford immediately double teamed. And will drop it back out to Anderson. Now, out on the wing. Watson works the baseline, has it taken away from him, and Lewis quickly the other way, almost loses control and able to maintain and get it to Reynolds. We're now under 15. Pass inside to Haynes. Haynes to the top of the key in the corner. Lewis will take the shot, can't get it to go. Final seconds here, and Biggersville will not get a shot off before the buzzer sounds. That brings us to the end of one. Biggersville holding a 14-7 lead over Durant in the Class 1A boys semifinal game. I want to remind everybody that if you would like to purchase a copy of all this action here at the state tournament or a particular game, just log on to MHSAA.tv. You follow the instructions on the website. It'll let you know how you can get your hands on our production of these state tournament games. So once again, after one quarter, the Biggersville Lions holding a 14-7 lead, and impressive first period there by the Lions, especially setting the tone with Stafford early on.
Yeah, I think Biggersville came out with a lot of energy this first quarter, and I think that's one of the reasons they're up 7. it had a lot of intensity. The defensive pressure really gave Durant they couldn't get in their offense early on in this first quarter. So let's see if they make any adjustments in the second quarter to deal with the pressure that Biggersville is applying.
Lions start with the ball. Williams remains in the game along with Anderson Stafford, and then also in now Daniel Simmons, as well as Marquise Watson. Anderson swings it around to Williams. Williams will drive. He'll take a wild off-balance shot. Charging called on him. Good job by Lewis there taking the contact. Reynolds has his pass taken by Stafford. He goes the length of the floor and throws it down. Dexter Stafford, the steal and slam.
I tell you, Stafford is a good-looking player out there. He's got a calm demeanor about him. He doesn't get too high, hadn't gotten too low, so he's a real good player, looking real good out there right now.
That time an aggressive move into the lane by Lewis. He draws a foul, and once again for the third time this game, Dwayne Lewis will head to the free throw line.
The line for Durant, Dwayne Lewis, shooting 2.
First one by Lewis misses off to the right.
Stafford gets a well-deserved break here early on in the second quarter.
It's a huge luxury to have is to have a few guys on your bench that can spell your starters for even if it's just a few minutes.
Definitely, because late in the ball game, that fatigue sets in if they don't get a break here early on.
Lions break the press. Anderson takes the shot too strong. Back the other way comes Lewis. We know Lewis will be aggressive going to the rim. He does just that. Can't get it to go, but the tip is in by Gilmore.
Looks like Durant is coming out in a 1-2-2 full court trap here, trying to speed him up, force some turnovers, doing a good job of it.
Almost get one there. Fight for the ball on the floor. Outside jumper is up and good. Three-pointer from Daniel Simmons, the sophomore from Biggersville. Gilmore now gets stopped at the top of the key. Reynolds tries to find Lewis underneath, but a little miscommunication, thrown out of bounds.
Yeah, that was great pressure by Blake Anderson there that forced that turnover. They're doing a good job of pressuring the basketball, making it very difficult for Durant to get easy passes.
Another substitution for Biggersville. This time Jalen Gaines comes in and he'll give Anderson a breather. Biggersville can't break the pressure this time. Lewis comes across, makes the steal. And that Durant press is paying off for him here in the second quarter.
Yeah, they've forced 3 turnovers here since they've gone into that 1-2-2.
Turnover and layup right there. Marquise Watson scores it. Once again, welcome into our broadcast of the Class 1A boys semifinal matchup. It's the Durant Tigers, the defending 1A champs, taking on the Biggersville Lions. We are just over 5 minutes remaining in the second quarter. The Lions up 11, 21-10. They came out of the box with an impressive first quarter and have maintained their lead throughout the game. Right now, Durant has possession of the ball. They will line up for the inbounds play with Gilmore triggering from under the basket. and another travel call. That's 3 times we've seen that same call on the Tigers.
Right, that aggressive man-to-man is, I mean, they're doing an exceptional job of playing it right now and applying that pressure and forcing these turnovers.
We appreciate you tuning in here on the MHSAA Network on this Saturday afternoon. I am Travis Raychek, joined alongside by Randy Bolden here on the broadcast. As Durant now creates the turnover, Reynolds will push the other way. Lob underneath to Haynes, able to catch, control, and draw the foul. That was a pretty athletic move to maintain his balance as he made that catch in the lane.
Yeah, that was a great catch, and being able to catch it and gather himself and get it up there, that was quite impressive by Haynes there. Both teams here in the second quarter has gotten a little sloppy with the basketball. We've seen more turnovers here in the second quarter. You attribute that to the pressure of both teams now, and it's starting to heat up on both sides here.
Coach Little looking for the calming presence. We'll bring Dexter Stafford back in the game. Stafford has been off to a monstrous first half with a couple of big plays. Second free throw up and good from Haynes. 21-11. Another quick steal. Reynolds out to Hogsett. Hogsett will fire the 3. No good. Fight for the loose ball, and he tracks down his own miss. Now Reynolds finds Thomas. Thomas into Haynes. So trying to pound it inside, and again, as Haynes makes his move, he's called for this walk.
Durant was doing a good job of moving the basketball around, but unfortunately they got called for the travel there down low.
Again, the pressure creates a tip pass, but Stafford goes out to catch it. And then Williams will set it back up.
Durant has been able to force some turnovers here. They just hadn't been fortunate enough to capitalize on those turnovers.
Good look inside. That time, though, Lewis draws the contact from Stafford. Hard foul as he takes it and goes down for a second. And will bounce back up a little bit slowly, a little bit woozy. He might have bumped his head as he took to the deck.
And Lewis is having a tough time here in his first quarter. I mean, his first half. This is the second time he's been down, but he's just seemed to be a really tough kid.
Coach Little calls a timeout for Biggersville. He's going to try and regroup. His Lions lead 21-11 here midway through the second quarter. When we return, we'll have more of this Class 1A boys semifinal game on the MHSAA Network. Welcome back to the Class 1A boys semifinal matchup between Biggersville and Durant. We have just over 4 minutes to go here in the second quarter. The Lions on top of the Tigers 21-11, but Durant will inbounds. Reynolds will bring it up. Jump shot taken from the left wing, no good by Thomas, controlled by Stafford. And here comes Biggersville.
Stafford really does a good job of getting off that floor, rebounding the basketball for Biggersville.
He's asking for the ball inside, but being trailed by Lewis and Hogsett pretty much everywhere he goes. Swung into the corner, the distance shot put up and no good, but on the rebound and the follow also no good. Marquise Watson can't get the shot to go down. Durant the other way, they take a quick shot. That one is too long by Thomas. Stafford will come the other way. Lewis tries to steal it from behind, but the contact is called, and that will be a foul on Dwayne Lewis. That shot from the top of the key is no good. First attempt there from Jalen Gaines, and a little bit off. Now Durant will return possession up. Biggersville up 21-11, just over 3 minutes to go here. And you're right, Randy, things have kind of slowed down here in the second quarter. It was a fairly crisp first period, and getting a little bit sloppiness now.
Yeah, and I think they're playing up and down, and fatigue sets in, and when you get tired, you tend to force make turnovers that you normally don't make when you're fresh starting out of the game. So I think fatigue has a lot to do with the decision making right now.
Big block there, and unbelievable Dexter Stafford with the up and under shot. That might have been the move of the tournament so far.
Oh, no doubt. That was Stafford. That was a really beautiful move he made under there.
And again, that pressure defense for the Lions. Hogsett will fire from the outside. His shot no good. Lewis tries to track it down, but out comes Simmons with it. Simmons will give it up to Gaines, and he gets knocked down and will go to the line.
Fast-paced game. I see both teams hand on their knees, so they're getting up and down, they're getting out there, they're leaving it all on the floor, and that's what this game is all about. You leave it all on the floor. There's no tomorrow.
This is what you built for, to get to this stage. 2 wins away from winning a state title. The foul actually called on the floor, so Biggersville will throw it in, and there it is. The extra step, and the refs are calling it today. You're not going to get away with that violation.
Right, that may have probably about the 6 or 7 travel call that's 4 in the first half. So they're really on that travel. So those guys are going to have to make those adjustments.
And there we go again, another travel, this time called on Keith Reynolds. So Durant turns it right back over. Blake Anderson back in the game for the Lions after taking a quick breather. Darian Williams remains at the point position. Williams will get it over to Anderson as they work it around the perimeter. He penetrates. Williams' shot rattles in and out. Fight for the ball. The put back, no good. Out comes Gilmore for the Tigers. Gilmore leaves it for Hogsett, and then they reset with Reynolds at the top. Reynolds will fire from deep. His shot off the heel. And on the outbreak, it's Jalen Gaines. He throws it down in the face of Lewis and draws the contact.
That may have been the highlight of the game today.
That might have taken it. That might have taken it. The sophomore not shy as he went to the bucket there, and that's got the Lion fans on their feet.
You're talking about a 5'9" going up there, slamming it over the top of someone. That's pretty impressive there, Travis.
Jalen Gaines, he looks like a guy that might get carded walking into the high school if he's even old enough to be there, but he just made a man's move to throw it down. It's now a 14-point lead for the Lions. And the free throw to complete the 3-point play. Almost a carry there by Reynolds as Durant has to find their offense and settle things down, get some momentum back. That shot by Hogsett is no good, bounces up and over the basket. So with under 2 minutes to go, Biggersville has a chance to build on an already 15-point lead.
Yeah, Biggersville is making sure they keep them from getting to the basket. They're doing a really good job of keeping that pressure on the perimeter.
Simmons will go to the baseline into Stafford. Bodies flying all over the place there. The foul will be on Durant. That'll put Stafford to the line in the bonus here to shoot a 1-and-1.
Yes, Biggersville are able to get some open shots in the perimeter because they're doubling down on Stafford every time he goes to the block. They're following him everywhere he goes. So another teammate is going to have to make a play for Biggersville as well.
Free throw is no good. Hogsett comes down with the rebound. try and work it inside. Haynes able to body up and get the floater to go. Tigers cut the lead to 13. Try and maybe get it under 10 here if you can, if you're Durant, before you go to halftime. But Stafford will fly through the lane. His shot no good. The tip in, though, is that guy Gaines again.
Again, the
and
pressure.
A turnover. Williams controls. He'll leave it. And the layup is up and good. Simmons takes the foul. He'll go to the line for the and one.
What a very unselfish play by Williams to leave that ball back for his teammate. That's great team basketball.
So Simmons steps to the line. Biggersville building a huge lead here in the first half. 30-13 the score now. Simmons has a chance to add another one. Free throw knocks it down, increases the lead to 18, under a minute to go. Thomas looks for Haynes inside. Haynes trying to go to work. He'll kick it to Gilmore, and again, that same call. If you're gonna make a move with the basketball, you gotta put it on the floor first today.
Yeah, and I'm sure Coach Ross will address that in the locker room at halftime, because that's about the sixth travel call his team has been charged with in this half. So I'm sure he'll address that.
Williams pushes the pace up the other way. Gaines with the ball underneath. His shot is short. And another foul on the floor. Now, is that something that you have to deal with maybe on a game-by-game basis? Some games, I guess you imagine refs will let you get away with that first step, but this crew isn't going to have it.
Right, and it's all about adjusting to what the official is doing. You know, you always tell your team, you know, you have to adjust to the way the official's calling the game. And yet it be a hand check, yet it be traveling. You know, you have to adjust to it. And like I said, I'm sure both coaches will stress that when they go in at halftime.
Big ovation as Jalen Gaines leaves and heads to the bench. First of the 1-and-1, no good for Haynes, but on the rebound, it's Kendario Gilmore. He is fouled. Now he will get a chance to go to the line.
All right, if Durant is going to get back in this ball game, they're going to have those hustle plays and rebounding, offensive rebounding, and getting some steals and making some transition baskets if they're looking to get back in the ball game here in the second half.
Oh, and you touched on it a little bit earlier. At the beginning of this quarter, they were creating the turnovers. They just weren't capitalizing on them.
Right. When they went into the 1-2-2 full-court press, it allowed them to get some turnover. They just couldn't capitalize and score on them. So I'm sure that'll be another issue that Coach stressed once he gets in at halftime.
And you got to knock your shots down when you get to the line. Durant has missed their last two free throws. This one from Gilmore is short also. But we have a lane violation. He is going to get another crack at it.
Lane violation.
That time, Gilmore gets it to fall. Final 30 seconds here of the first half. 31-14, Biggersville on top. And quickly, Durant goes back to that pressure. Able to break the press. Blake Anderson fires from the outside. His three is no good. Reynolds will push up floor to Hogsett. Hogsett corrals it and scores. Biggersville will not get a final shot off. That'll bring us to the end of the first half. The Biggersville Lions lead the Durant Tigers 31-16 in this Class 1A boys semifinal matchup. When we come back, we'll take a look at how we got to this point and get you ready for the second half of hoops here at the state tournament in Jackson. You're watching high school basketball on the MHSAA network. It is halftime of the Class 1A boys semifinal matchup between the Durant Tigers and the Biggersville Lions. A 15-point advantage right now at the break. The Lions have come out, took the early lead, and then extended it there with some really big plays in the second quarter. We saw a lot from Dexter Stafford in the first half, Randy, but he's got help on that team also.
Oh yeah, he definitely has help. I think the bench that came off the bench and did a tremendous job. Jalen came off and gave him a big lift gains, and I think that's been the story here, as well as their defensive pressure. I think that's really been a problem for Durant, being able to, they can't seem to get in their offense right now, and Biggersville have been able to capitalize with easy baskets on the other end.
So as Coach Ross will take his Tigers into the locker room, try and get things regrouped, see if they can come out and make a run. Again, the Durant Tigers are the defending 1A champs. They're trying to get back to that title game, make it 2 straight championships. All right, we will be back with the second half of action here of the 1A boys semifinal on the MHSAA network. Welcome back to the Mississippi Coliseum in the capital city of Jackson. State tournament high school basketball going on. We are at the 1A boys semifinal matchup between Durant and Biggersville. The Lions lead 31-16 as we come out of the break. I'm Travis Raychick, joined on the broadcast today by Randy Bolden. And quickly the Lions create a turnover, and out of the locker room they try to increase their 15-point lead already. Up top, the long-range shot, no good from Tevin Watson. So out comes Reynolds the other way for the Tigers. Once again, Durant in the green uniforms and the white numbering. Biggersville, the representative from the north half of the bracket in the white and maroon. And Durant able to fight and get a basket to go in there. Randy, what would be the biggest things you think the coaches were telling their guys in the break?
Well, I think most importantly it was the turnovers. I see both teams had more turnovers than they did assists, and that's always a concern going down the stretch in the second half. You want to take care of that basketball and give your team a chance to win by at least getting an attempt up there.
And Coach Ross had to address the factor that is number 15, Dexter Stafford. He came out of halftime with 11 points, 5 rebounds, already a bucket there, so he's at 13, the high point man in this game.
Well, I think at this stage, you know, Stafford's gonna be a dominant player, but you want to try to limit the other guys and kind of keep them from scoring and hurting you, because Stafford, he's an exceptional ball player, and it's going to be pretty hard to stop him.
Biggersville again, nice passing, sets up an easy layup for Tevin Watson. It's now 35-18 as we're just underway in the second half.
Biggersville come out in the second half, continue to pressure the ball tough and make it very difficult to get to that basket.
That shot off the side of the backboard by Thomas, but Durant able to control. Hook shot, no good. Theodore Haynes can't get it to go down, tapped out of bounds. Biggersville will control, and Durant's fighting hard. The shots aren't falling for them, and the percentages tell the story.
Yeah, I'm looking at the stats in the first half. I see Durant shot only 10% from the three-point line, and that's been a strength for them throughout the season. So it's been a struggle for them out there thus far. Let's see in the second half if they'll be able to knock a few of them down.
Strong move to the hole that time by Stafford. Plows over 2 guys and gets the blocking call. So Dexter Stafford now a chance to go to the line for a pair.
Shooting at the line, 15, Dexter Stafford for Biggersville.
So Stafford, who came into the game averaging 18 points and almost 8 rebounds, has a chance here to increase his total. He's at 13 points right now and 6 rebounds. Definitely on pace to hit his season mark, if not go over it. Randy, one of the things I got a kick out of in the first half is Coach Little over there on the Lions sideline. He was working up a pretty vicious sweat minutes into the game. He's already shredded the top layer of his outfit.
Oh, yeah, he's pretty animated, and the kids are feeding off the coach's energy, and that's a good thing to see when your coach is energetic into it. That feeds those kids to want to win it for him.
Reynolds, again, his shot is no good. The whistle, stop play, and a foul inside on Biggersville, on Blake Anderson. So Durant will throw it in. There's Kendario Gilmore on the baseline for Durant, also in the game right now. Ira Hamer has checked in for the first time. Haynes with a shot from the corner. Haynes' shot gets the shooter's roll and goes home. 36-20, the Lions now lead.
And they're extending their pressure here, trying to force some turnovers.
Good move inside there, Tevin Watson, and the Lions had no trouble breaking the press on that time down. Hogs it from the corner, and again the struggles continue from the outside, and look out, Stafford is all alone, and he will tomahawk it home, the two-handed flush.
Yeah, he's having a heck of a game, Stafford. He on both ends of the floor. He's dominating the glass as well as scoring baskets for him as well.
Couple of big-time highlight plays for Dexter Stafford in this game. On the other end, Haynes with the offensive board and putback.
Haynes is starting to pick it up for Durant as well. He's gotten a couple of offensive rebounds and scored.
Stafford flying in on the offensive rebound, draws the contact, the bucket, but before it goes down, he's called for the charge. Send it the other way. Stafford will check out of the game here. Only his second foul, so he's not really in trouble right now as we're in the third quarter. But Coach Little going to give him a quick breather. He works hard when he's in there, that's for sure.
Oh, definitely, and Coach don't want to take any chances. He has a little cushion, so he's going to kind of sit him, let him settle down here for a second.
Pressure defense there almost results in a turnover. T. Watson with the pass deflection for the Lions. An interesting trend we've seen so far at the state tournament. 9 games have been played. Teams from the north, 8-1, Randy. Is there anything we can look into with that?
Well, I just think that's the way the chips are falling right now. The north are really dominating the south right now, so I think that's just the way it's falling this year.
And right now, Biggersville with the 18-point lead. If they win, that would make it 9-1 for teams from the north. The only team from the south to win was earlier today. That was Kemper County. They held on for the victory over Aberdeen. Now the lead extended to 20 at 42-22, halfway through the third quarter.
Biggersville continuing to apply pressure.
Tevin Watson draws the contact as he goes up and under on the layup attempt, and Watson now will get a chance to go to the line as he gets the crowd fired up.
This crowd is really into it for Biggersville, and the guys are feeding off of it. They're really feeding off this crowd, and it's very exciting to see them play.
This is a Biggersville team that ran through the north half of the playoffs. They beat Montgomery County, followed that up with a win over West Octibaha, then took out H.W. Byers and Coldwater en route to the state tournament. And again, the winner of this game will play the winner of Coldwater and West Lincoln in the other 1A boys semifinal. That game later today, and then the championship game Friday at 2:30 here at the Big House.
And right now, Biggersville is playing with a lot of confidence here. They really, really feel like they supposed to win this game.
Reynolds picks up his dribble high outside, and again, that same violation, the extra step before he makes his move, and traveling called on Durant. That time the pressure does result in a turnover for the Tigers, so Reynolds will push the other way.
Let's see, can Durant capitalize off the turnover here?
Trying to feed it inside to Haynes. They've had some success with Haynes here early in the third quarter, and he's a guy that needs to step it up. He's their leading scorer, over 13 points a game, and Haynes only 5 points in the first half.
Yeah, they're having difficulties getting the ball down there to him because of the pressure that the guards are applying to Durant's guard. So that's been one of the problems why Haynes hasn't gotten as many touches as he normally gets.
And we get our first look here in the second half from Jalen Gaines. Randy, he made the play of the tournament there in the first half.
Yeah, that's quite a play by Jalen. I didn't see it coming. That's to be 5'9" and go up there and flush that thing like that. That's pretty amazing.
If you missed it, you can get on MHSAA.tv and catch a replay of the game later on. It was an impressive dunk, drew the contact in the three-point play. And speaking of drawing contact, down low, Martavius Watson draws the charge and creates the turnover for Biggersville. Simmons will bring it up, get it out to Watson. And now Darian Williams at the top of the key, guarded closely by Thomas. Shot from the outside from Simmons, high and off the top of the backboard. That'll go out of bounds. Durant coming the other direction. Randy, I feel like Durant's reached a critical point where you got to start chipping into this lead if you're going to have a chance to make a run in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, they're going to have to find some scoring from somewhere, someone consistently. They're really having their struggles from the field.
Theodore Haynes picks up the foul there as he tried to draw the charge on Daniel Simmons. Williams in the corner to Gaines. Gaines' three-point attempt goes in and out. Looked like it was going to go home, but left the cylinder quickly the other way. Nice spin move in the lane, and Kendario Gilmore scores. So 44-24.
Durant is going to have to get some quick buckets here to try to get back in this ball game.
But Stafford, a good look to Gaines, and they answer right back. Biggersville pushes the lead back to 22.
And Gaines with the block. I tell you, Gaines is doing it on both ends tonight. He's been real productive coming off the bench.
Like you said, he's not very tall. He's not very thick, but he's athletic.
Oh, yeah, he's playing with a lot of heart and a lot of determination out there. And a lot of times that overcomes a lot of the size.
Gaines matched up on Gilmore out at the top. Now Reynolds works it inside to Haynes. Haynes will try and do damage against Stafford. Out to Gilmore. Gilmore's shot, no good. The follow, no good. And then again, good effort that time for Durant and Cedric Common. He'll go to the line to shoot a pair.
For Durant today, it just seemed like that basket has a lid on it. They can't seem to get it to fall. They're playing hard. It's just one of those days.
First free throw from Common is off and no good. He'll get another attempt here. 2 minutes remaining in the third quarter of this 1A boys semifinal matchup. That one also no good. Rebound controlled by Simmons. Good hustle play by Gilmore. Steals it from behind. Now Reynolds will work it over. Shot from the wing, that time again no good. But on the offensive glass, Theodore Haynes will put it in. Tigers trying to create quick baskets. And they get another turnover as Stafford steps out of bounds. So under 2 minutes to go, it's a 20-point lead for the Lions. And for the first time, we see Chris Bishop checking in, the senior for Biggersville.
Yeah, I think Coach don't want Stafford to pick up a cheap foul here with a minute to go in the third quarter.
Thomas brings it up for Durant. He'll kick it up top to Common. Common, his shot comes up short, and Simmons brings it out. Simmons now will get it back out. Biggersville will take their time. Darian Williams at the top. Just over a minute to go here in the third quarter. 20-point lead for Biggersville. Oh, good look inside. Williams to Gaines. That was pretty sweet.
Yeah, that was a nice look there. Good court vision.
Haynes again backs his man down. This time uses the right hand, comes up short, and quickly the other way. Here comes Gaines out on the fast break. Goes behind the back. The pull-up jumper is good. Another impressive move by the sophomore, Jalen Gaines.
Yes, Jalen has given him a big lift coming off the bench there. He's very energetic, and he's putting that ball in the basket for him.
Block inside by Biggersville, but a rebound by Theodore Haynes. He will put the layup up and in. And another quick steal, this time by Gilmore. Gilmore will go right to the basket. His shot is no good, and a charge called on him as T. Watson stands strong in the lane.
Theodore Haynes has picked it up here in the third quarter.
Under 10 seconds to go. Loose ball scramble here, knocked out of bounds. And with 3 seconds remaining, Durant will get the possession. Pass is stolen by Watson, and he gets the layup up and in right before the buzzer sounds. All the momentum on the side of Biggersville as they lead 52-28 after 3 quarters. The Lions showing off here today in this semifinal matchup. 8 minutes left to go, and a repeat state championship for Durant looks to be in trouble. Hey, we want to let you know that you can log on, watch all the semifinal games at the state tournament, plus the championships at MHSAA.TV, live web streaming for all of the high school state tournament action here from the Big House. Randy, more that I get a chance to see this Biggersville team in action, the more I'm impressed with their blend of 5 senior starters and then some young energy off the bench from guys like Jalen Gaines.
Yeah, they're a real balanced team. They do a good job of sharing the basketball. That you can see the cohesiveness and the chemistry in the way they're playing and the aggressiveness on defense. And I think that's been the biggest thing, the way they've been able to get out and pressure and disrupt Durant's offense all day today.
52-28 the score as we start the fourth quarter. Pressure up top, Gilmore on Williams. Williams will take the runner in the lane. That one won't go down. Fought for though, and the Lions come away with the loose ball. It's Simmons this time. Simmons will get the floater to go. 54-28.
Biggersville is continuing to attack the rim. And here Durant got an easy basket going in transition. I think that's what they're going to have to do if they're going to try to get back in the basketball game.
Quickly the other way, Lewis scores it and draws the foul, so he'll go to the line. Chance to get a 3-point play.
Shooting 1, number 20, Dwayne Lewis.
You know, one of the things you talked about at the top of the broadcast was how Coach Ross said, yeah, we do. We take a lot of three-pointers. We kind of live by that. And when you're 1 for 12, that's how you get a lopsided score, as we have.
Oh, most definitely. They're having a hard time getting the ball in the basket here from the three-point.
And they're having a hard time getting stops now. Good touch pass from Gaines. That time over to Daniel Simmons, a couple of sophomores hooking up. Another strong move in the lane. Tigers will not go quietly. Gamarcus Thomas scores. It's 56-33, about a minute into this final period.
Well, these Tigers are defending champions, so they have a lot of pride. They're not going to just lay down. They're going to continue to fight until the horn sound. That's Coach Ross' nature, and his team takes his lead, so they're going to continue to fight.
That's Dwayne Lewis on the foul there. That is his 5th, so the senior checks out, obviously frustrated as he heads to the bench, and Haynes checks back in.
The line number 23, Daniel Simmons.
Randy, you had a group of seniors last year that were motivated, determined, that had come so close to a title and didn't want to let it slip away. How big is that impact when you look at a team like Biggersville and their veteran leadership?
Well, that veteran leadership leads over into those sophomores and juniors you see coming off the bench contributing, because those seniors are leaders, and those underclassmen are feeding off of them. And I think that's what's happening here with, you see Jalen Gaines coming off the bench and giving them a big lift. He see those guys coming to practice and working hard every day, and I think he's feeding off of that.
25-point lead for the Lions here in the 4th quarter. The inbounds goes to Gilmore for Durant. Haynes gets positioned inside and draws the contact from Chris Bishop. And Dexter Stafford, who was so good in stretches in the first half and the beginning of the 3rd quarter, can now just kind of sit back and enjoy this one. He's been on the bench resting for a while.
Yeah, coach trying to debate should he put him in or rest him. That's one of those critical decisions you have to make as a coach going down the stretch.
Quickly up the other way. Here comes Gaines. He goes behind the back to Simmons, but Simmons can't finish with the scoop layup. And now they're showing off a little bit.
Yeah, I tell you, that Jalen Gaines is playing with a whole lot of confidence. I really like that kid out there. He's bringing a lot of energy and playing with a lot of confidence.
Hogs it with a 3 from the top of the key, and again, that one will not go down, but he draws contact. David Hogsett gets a chance to go to the line and shoot 3. I got a feeling we might see 1 or 2 more highlight plays from Mr. Gaines before this is all said and done.
Oh yeah, he's really getting out in transition and making things happen. So,
and some guys get to this stage and they thrive in the big time atmosphere and really kind of take their game to another level.
Well, those are the ones that you call exceptional players. Those guys that the big games, they step up and make big plays. Those are those exceptional players. And Jalen has really come off the bench here and given them a huge lift.
Second free throw up and good for Hogsett. Last one, though, no good. However, rebounded by Gamarcus Thomas. He scores and draw a foul, so a chance on this possession to get a couple of buckets.
Yeah, that's going to get Stafford off the bench there. Coach said he's seen enough. Let's try to put this thing in, put it away. So he quickly gets Stafford up so he can kind of finish the ball game.
Anderson checks back in as well.
As a coach, you never feel comfortable sitting over there, and you know it's a lot of time left. So coach said he's going to put his starters back in and let them finish the game up.
The one thing is you're not too worried about rest, because if you win this game, you're off until Friday and you have plenty of time to recoup and get ready for that title game. And Thomas able to complete the three-point play. Here comes the pressure for Durant. It is now a 20-point game. Williams inside, a lot of hands, active hands, creating the steal for the Tigers.
Durant is still scrapping. They're still playing hard, and that's all you can ask as the coach. Your kids continue to play and don't quit, and they're definitely playing hard for Coach Ross here.
Haynes unable to get that one to go, and there's Stafford getting the rebound. But Durant comes up with another steal. That jumper in the lane, no good. Thomas on the offensive glass, stolen away by Anderson. So the action getting a little bit loose here in the fourth quarter on both sides. Biggersville has gotten somewhat sloppy with the big lead, but still up 20 with over 5 minutes to go.
Yeah, and Durant continue to have problems trying to score here. And like I say, being at the Coliseum, it's a different depth perception than what they're used to, and I think that may be contribute to their shooting roles here.
Teams walk to the other end. Darian Williams a chance to go to the line for a 1-and-1 opportunity. First one is up and good for Williams. Coach Little going to get a 30-second timeout, bring his guys over to talk things over.
Yeah, even though Coach is up with a comfortable lead, he wants his team to finish this game off, and with momentum leading into the championship game, you don't want to get sloppy, because you want to make sure you guys are a fine oil machine going into that final championship game.
And again, the winner of this one will take on the winner of Coldwater and West Lincoln, the other 1A boys semifinal game coming up later today. This the third of 6 games at the Big House today. If you look back at Friday's action, it started with the New Site girls beating Bassfield. The Lady Royals are back in the state title game, looking to finally bring home a gold ball. And then it was followed up by the SV Marshall boys, another team out of Holmes County, beating another team from down the road, Williams Sullivan. The Walnut girls beat the Taylorsville girls, so that means New Site will play Walnut in the 2A girls title. Baldwin beat Bay Springs in 2A boys action, so Baldwin and SV Marshall in the 2A boys title game. And the Nightcaps, Ripley beat Southeast Lauderdale in girls action, and the Boonville boys, the defending champs, beat the Bailey boys. And here we are in the first 1A boys game of the tournament. Biggersville on top, 59-38, just over 5 minutes to go. Make that 59-40 as Theodore Haynes gets the offensive rebound and put back. Williams the other way, gives it to Gaines. Gaines has his shot blocked and knocked out of bounds, stays with the Lions.
Durant is having problems trying to stay in front of Williams. He's a really quick guard, handles the ball well, and gets the ball to his teammates, and he's doing a good job of distributing with great court vision.
Now the Lions will back it out, work it around the perimeter, and would like to waste some clock here. Now Williams will make a move inside and kick it back out to Anderson, and he'll reset. Williams will drive into the lane, a little bit of contact, no call. Step out, shoot the three, comes up short, and Reynolds will push the other way. Reynolds, good job of stopping and popping the jumper. Drops it home, 59-42.
Durant is trying to chip away. They still playing hard, trying to force some turnovers here. Biggersville's trying to milk some clock. Don't want to shoot the ball too fast.
Stafford will make his move into the lane. He gets hammered and tossed down to the ground. Stafford going to get a chance now to go to the line.
Foul Durant, number 12, Keith Reynolds, third personal, team 9.
First free throw by Stafford rattles around and jumps out. They'll get one more. 59-42. Biggersville on top of Durant. 4 minutes to go in the fourth. Second one too strong. So Durant with another chance to chip into the lead here.
Let's see, can they get one of those three-pointers to go down for?
And they're going to take a deep one. That one way short as Gamarcus Thomas fired it up from 5 or 6 feet beyond the arc. And without having to do much, Williams falls down. Durant gonna retain possession.
I'm sure Durant will try to get a quick score here and get back into their full court press.
Out to Hogsett. Hogsett will leave it for Reynolds. Lets Haynes go to work inside. Haynes been effective in there, but that shot too strong. However, a steal by Thomas. Thomas too strong. Still on the offensive glass. Hogsett can't get it to go, but this time will be fouled.
Yeah, though, like I told you earlier, Travis, these are the defending state champions now. They're not going to go out without a fight. They're going to fight until the end, to that last horn sound, and you're seeing the kind of character these kids have out here.
Definitely been very impressed with the effort from Durant. Like we said, sometimes you have those afternoons where the shots just don't fall. They've had a lot of opportunities and just haven't been able to convert on those opportunities. But like you said, they haven't packed it in yet, even though they've been down double digits most of the second half. Hogsett, one more free throw. That one is off and no good, but tipped out. And Reynolds will control. The Tigers will keep possession. Back inside to Haynes. Haynes trying to go to work on Stafford. That shot comes up short. And out comes Jalen Gaines. Gaines to Stafford, and he lays it up and in at the rim.
Great pass by Jalen out on the open floor. Good finish by Stafford. Strong move to the basket.
Pass goes deep, but it is not going to reach Stafford, who'd broken free. Hogsett tracks it down, so Durant comes the other way. Gilmore on the baseline. Gilmore's shot no good. On the offensive glass, though, is Thomas. 61-44. Just over 3 minutes remaining. The Lions holding on to the lead over Durant.
Stafford wisely brings it out, milks some clock.
Williams working through a couple of Tiger defenders. That time, though, has it stolen, and as Reynolds tries to toss it out, it hits the bottom of the backboard and goes out of bounds. Anderson will just toss it deep and let Williams track it down all the way on the other end. Gaines curls around. His shot is up and no good. A little strong off the window. In the corner, Hogsett will fire it up. That one no good. Still can't get it to go down. Gaines will come back the other way. Gaines will push and actually turn it over. Yep.
Gets it back.
He does get it back. That's one of those young plays that he probably should have brought it back out, but got a little excited, wanted to make another highlight type play.
Yeah, and as he matures and understands the game, he'll learn to bring it out and milk some clock. But he's having an exceptional ball game today.
Yeah, if that's the worst thing he does all day, I know Coach Little will be fine with that. And he did hustle, recover the possession, and now Simmons is at the line as Durant gets set to check in 5 fresh faces. Clear the bench. get some of the younger guys, get some of the other guys some state tournament
Yeah,
time.
Coach want to recognize those seniors that fought hard for him the last few years, and let them know that he appreciate the effort and the hard work they put into his program.
Michael Williams in along with Denzel Rogers and Shamarcus Steverson. Also checking in is Timothy McClendon. And also Kendaris Wilson. So 5 new guys in the game for Durant. Ball inside taken away by Anderson. And Biggersville will be content to hold on to it here. Waste a little clock, just under the 2-minute mark now. 62-44, comfortable 18-point lead, and the Lion fans can now sense the victory is in their grasp.
Yeah, Coach just want to kind of milk some clock, hold the ball.
Simmons and Gaines now exchange possessions near midcourt. Anderson comes and takes hold. Tevin Watson makes his move in. Watson in the corner to Anderson, and Anderson will bring it back out. And Randy, whoever it is, Coldwater or West Lincoln, I think they're going to have their hands full with a very complete Biggersville team.
Oh, definitely very complete, as well as experienced ball club, and like I say, they play well together, and he has a nice bench. A Biggersville bench comes off, and they give this team a huge lift.
Foul committed that time by Denzel Rogers. It'll send Simmons to the line. The Biggersville contingent is strong here too. They come all the way from Corinth, Mississippi, which is up in the northeast corner. That's a hike from up there. That's 3+ hours to make the trip down here, and they definitely did.
Yeah, by the looks of it, it look like they're enjoying themselves. They don't care about the drive. They're happy to be here and support these kids, and they're very energetic over there.
And I'm sure most of these folks will be making the drive again come next Friday. 2:30 is when the Lions will play in the 1A title game, and want to give a lot of credit to Coach Ross and Durant. Had a great run with this team, defending their state title and getting back to the state tournament.
Yeah, Coach Ross has done a great job at Durant. He put championship teams out there, and just to get back here with losing some guys last year, that contributes to the work he's done and the effort those kids have put in to get to this point.
And a couple of substitutions now as Coach Little clears his bench and gives a couple of fresh faces a little time on the floor here. Under a minute to go, 20-point lead for Biggersville over Durant. That shot is off the glass and no good, knocked out of bounds. This is kind of that time where every one of these kids wants to get that one bucket in for the game, so they're not going to be shy shooting.
No doubt. This is the moment they'll never forget, having an opportunity to play out here and yet alone score a basket. You can tell the kids about it years from now.
Shot is up and no good. Biggersville will retain possession. Just over 20 seconds to go as we wind down. A lot more basketball still to be played here at the Big House on this Saturday. Next up is Class 1A girls action between Hines AHS and Coldwater. That'll be a 6:30 game, and then the other 1A boys game, West Lincoln and Coldwater, both Coldwater teams making it. The boys game will be at 8 p.m. And as the clock winds down, that will do it. The Biggersville Lions have won the Class 1A boys semifinal matchup with Durant 64-44. The Lions will move on to play for a 1A title, picking up their 28th win of the year. And Randy, there's 3 main guys we talked about all afternoon. It was Dexter Stafford, Darian Williams, and then off the bench, Jalen Gaines providing the all-around performance and a pretty comfortable victory.
Yeah, those guys were key for them. I think whenever you get 3 guys that can come in and contribute the way that those 3 guys came in, it's going to be really hard to beat them down.
Impressive performance this afternoon from Coach Cliff Little and the Biggersville Lions. Once again, the final score here is Biggersville over Durant 64-44. The Lions from the North are moving on to the 1A title game. Once again, the north half of the bracket providing very strong performances. Stick around, coming up later in the evening, Hines AHS versus the Coldwater Girls at 6:30. But for now, I'm Travis Raychick, joined alongside by Randy Bolden. Thanks for tuning in to watch high school basketball on the MHSAA Network.